We got a returning caller from last week, John in Chicago. John, first of all, welcome back.
Hey, Russell, how's it going?
And second, I'm sorry, but I'm going to limit you to 10 minutes this week. If you, hope you don't mind too much.
Sure, no problem. How's it going, man?
Fine. What's up?
Yeah, interesting topic. Mistakes. I would say that there are a lot of things that we could look at as mistakes. It just depends on how we choose to look at it in the proper context in which we perceive these so-called mistakes. And I get the impression that you're giving your viewers a very one-sided interpretation.
Well, this is an atheist show, after all.
You and them both to look at both sides, talk to Bible scholars and historians, and get the full scope of the discussion, not
all right,
just one
well,
side.
We've got you on. You're currently representing the other side. Is there anything in particular Don said that you want to take issue with?
Yes. Going back to the book of Genesis in the Garden of Eden, to say that God made a mistake and that he had to come and undo his mistake with Jesus, I think is false, because he created us with free will according to the Bible. And if God came and
the phrase free will never appears in the Bible, as far as I know. That's a modern rationalization, to be sure. I've heard that before, but I don't know of it anywhere in the Bible.
Well, I'm not sure if the term free will was directly stated, but it says that we're created in the image of God, and God had the choice to create or not. And if the point is, we're moral beings in the image of God. Therefore, if God came and intervened,
were they moral before they ate of the tree of good and evil?
What's that?
Were they
moral beings?
Were they moral beings before they ate of before they knew about good and evil?
According to the Bible, yes. God said he looked at everything and it was good.
That's not my understanding of it. Is that they were more or less automaton before they got tricked into eating from this tree, right? They didn't have a moral sense.
Before they ate the fruit, did they know that eating the fruit was evil?
I'm not sure if they had knowledge that it was evil.
Okay.
But the concept of good and evil certainly existed.
Then what's the fruit?
The proof that morality existed?
No. The fruit. What was the fruit? What was it?
Well, there's a number of different interpretations on what the fruit actually was. Some people say it was a sexual act between Eve and the serpent, which the serpent obviously wasn't a snake. In ancient Hebrew, the word serpent means whisperer. So people take that out of context as well.
So the fruit was a metaphor? It wasn't a fruit at all?
Just like the serpent is a metaphor, I'm sure it wasn't a talking snake.
Okay. So you don't really...
We are too.
So you don't really think the Bible means what it says? I guess that would make you not a fundamentalist Christian.
No, I believe what it says, but I believe a lot of it is metaphoric. And if you approach the Bible with a very negative and immature perception, then
how do I know what's metaphor?
Yeah, how do I know that Jesus wasn't an aardvark? I mean,
because there's actually historical records of Jesus.
Well, no, there's the Bible, but that's it.
No, there's other historical records.
Not contemporary, no.
You can check with historians on that.
Yeah, we have. There's not.
I believe that's absolutely wrong. There was historical
you can believe that
Jesus actually existed.
No, there's not.
Not outside the Bible.
You say that, but you're wrong.
Okay, I mean, we can keep doing this all day.
Yeah,
but
you can look it up themselves.
We looked it up.
we welcome you to.
A historian that will say that there's no historical record of Jesus.
Pretty much,
there's record of stories of Jesus. There's record of Christianity, but there's
there's records of Jesus himself and evidence for Christianity.
Not contemporary with him. The first book of the Bible, the first we hear of Jesus, was written like 30 years after his death. And then
At
after the
the
Bible,
earliest.
there weren't any writings of him until like 100 years later.
Well, it's historical record, just like
No,
we have historical record.
They're really not
It's
there.
stories. It's stories, and
Okay.
there's no contemporary
What
ones.
record are you talking about? Can you give an example of that record?
Well, like I said, we can go back and forth and debate this, but you can check with
So you
historians.
don't have that particular. I would recommend that the next time you call, you have a specific source you could cite.
Sure, I could look.
Okay.
I could look
You
at
wanna-
some.
So we
wanna
can
move
table
on to
that for
something
now.
else?
Yeah, we can table that for now then.
But back to the main topic. If we are created with free will, if God came and intervened in every single little thing, then we wouldn't be as special of a creation. That's the point.
Can I do anything that nature doesn't allow? Can I live forever? Can I kill God? Can I fly? Can I
What's that have to do with morality?
I'm debating whether this free will thing exists at all. It seems like there's this thing called nature out there that limits me, but I can't point to anything that God has given me above and beyond that.
Do you have the freedom to make choices?
My dog can make choices.
Right, that's free will.
Yeah. Okay.
God gave dogs free will?
We have free will within our physical universe. We can't
Yeah.
break those physical laws, but we have freedom of thought.
Well,
But did-
I don't think that this is much of a gift, to be honest. I don't think there's any real gift there beyond things that I already have.
I don't know. I'm not going to agree with you. I like the notion of having free will, whether I actually have it or not.
Well, there's a whole philosophical rabbit hole that we can
Yeah,
go
I
down
don't
there.
think
but
we should get into that. But did God know that Adam and Eve were going to eat the fruit?
yeah, I mean,
I
did
think-
they have free will?
I think he did, yes.
He did. So, I mean, in some sense, he made the choice to put the fruit there, knowing in advance that they were going to choose to eat the fruit, right?
Yes, but he didn't make them eat it. That was their
Okay,
choice.
but if he didn't want to eat it, then he knew in advance that was going to happen. He could have not put it in there, right?
Well, that would assume the intentions of God. That's assuming that he can make a universe and a moral universe without good and evil together. What is good without evil? What's a crooked
So
line
he's got
without
some
a straight
limitations,
line?
is what you're saying. He's got some troubles.
Say what?
He's got some limitations. He couldn't possibly make a universe where they didn't eat from this tree.
That's very possible. And to
Okay.
assume otherwise is
Well, then
nothing
why
but
are you
some-
worshiping this guy? He seems like a kind of a screw up to me.
I mean, that is one response to the argument from evil. God could just not have enough power to prevent it.
Well, what is evil according to your worldview? What is your foundation for what evil
Well,
is?
I mean, we're talking within the context of the biblical story now, right?
Right.
Just
Yeah.
like when Don was talking about that. I mean, God definitely refers to some things as evil in the Bible. So I think we can say that within the Christian framework, there's definitely evil stuff, and it definitely happens.
Right.
Yeah?
I agree. But
So
the
God
point I
doesn't
was-
have the power to prevent it, is what you're saying.
Did he have the power to prevent evil altogether?
Yeah,
I mean, there's a quote in the Bible that he says he created evil.
that's true.
Right. Well, that's the thing. If there was no evil, then our free will, we would basically be God's puppets, and he didn't want that. He wanted us to recognize evil and choose good over evil to find our way to him.
Okay, getting back to the dog, when my dog chooses between her toy and eating, which of those is evil?
Why would either one of them be evil?
Right. So you can have free will without having without having anything to do with evil, right?
Right, but evil exists. That doesn't negate evil just because your dog chooses not to do evil things.
Well, if
Okay.
the universe had no evil in it, my dog could still make this choice and have free will, right?
But we're talking about humans. We believe that the Earth and the universe was created for humans. We are
This
we are
wasteful
moral
universe,
beings,
right.
not dogs or cats. Not to say that they're not quote unquote moral or whatever, but this is about us.
I think Don is trying to say that you could still give somebody free will without planting things like the tree of knowledge, which are just basically, a sucker's trick to get
Right, I understand,
into
but what
doing
is
something
good
that they didn't
without
really
evil?
understand the implications of at the time. Maybe.
But what is good without evil? How could we recognize what is good without knowing what evil is?
I don't know. Who cares if we recognize it or not?
Well, that's the whole point. Of
there's
the argument.
there's everybody has the potential to do harm, and that might be a synonym, an atheist version of evil. And we don't have to do harm. We can all live together and not harm each other. I mean,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's nothing saying that you're evil if you are an atheist or anything.
Right.
But
some people think
atheism
we are.
has no foundation for what good or evil is if you believe that we're just products of mindless evolution.
Oh, I disagree.
Yeah, I don't agree. I mean, people don't like to get hurt. And I think that
We have
we've
the
got
ability
a
to-
social consensus that people who go around deliberately hurting other people for no reason is something we don't like.
Okay, here's a question. Is
Okay.
it really wrong to kick an innocent baby? Is that really wrong to you, or is that just subjective?
To me,
it's harm.
yes.
It's harm.
It's harm. So there's something really wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where do you
because
get
it harms the
concept
baby.
of right and wrong. Where's your foundation?
Harm.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I'm
if-
coming at things from a human perspective where I care about not getting hurt and I care about other people not getting hurt.
And we have empathy
Right.
for other people.
But I said you could have 10 minutes, so I'm going to give you the last word and let you go. Do you want to wrap up with something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'd just like to say, as an ex-atheist,
Okay.
I had to, in order for me to believe, I had to look at things in a different context, in a different perspective.
All right.
I couldn't hold on to those negative things. And there are other answers out there to those questions. They might not be what you like to hear, but, I mean, they're there. So
Okay.
look at it if you choose. But enjoy your Sunday, man. It's good talking to you again.
You too. Thanks
Peace
for
out.
calling
Thank you,
back,
John.
John. Bye.
Yeah. I guess everybody was an ex-atheist because we're all born atheists, right?
Well, sure.